World.
I'm your boy said, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
And our special guest is
Morgan or Morgan the Void.
Morgan the Void.
In the building.
All right, start sharing a video with people. Well, I don't know. You got two phones?
Two phones?
Yeah, you got two
No.
phones. Okay.
No.
No, don't share it. Then. Don't worry about it. So you might hit the wrong button and it kicks you out. And,
Yeah.
How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty good today.
Yeah, we're doing that way.
I didn't get harassed by the police.
Today was a good day.
Today was a good day.
We're just saying. How things going in your part of the world?
um, they're going all right.
That's it? That's all right?
How your
Yeah.
dogs doing?
Man.
How many do you got?
4?
Mm-hmm.
Boys or girls?
3 boys, 1 girl.
What kind?
Husky.
All of them?
Yeah.
Dang.
I
And
know,
you
because
say-
it started off, we had a female and a male, and then they had a litter of 8. And so I had to raise all of those puppies, and then we kept 2 of them, so that's how I ended up with 4.
Yeah, you safe when you walk down the street. Ain't nobody bothering you. You got 4 huskies.
I know, I'm the one who needs help.
You didn't see you leave?
Man,
Or you're
that's crazy.
okay.
So, we just sending out links and stuff right now. So then we give them time to come in the room.
Cool.
So it's all good.
Well, that's good.
But are you ready to talk tonight? You ready?
Yeah, I'm pretty ready. I got notes.
Oh, you brought notes.
Yeah.
She's trying to kill us.
I say you know what that means.
She's trying to kill us.
Okay.
She's bringing out statistics.
Yeah.
She got statistics.
So that means it's gonna get interesting.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna be like, oh no, I got facts on this one.
Then we have to debunk those.
Right, then we gotta debunk her facts.
You good.
So I
Who in
see
the room?
I see a lot of people in the room, a lot of comments going.
Tanya, how you doing? Umbrian, Delta, what's happening? Delta. Who else we got? Drea in the building. How you doing? We got the Fab Five.
All right, they're the one that's always with us, got our back. You know what I'm saying? I did a shout out video too. So if I forgot anybody, I apologize. Y'all already know. I was trying to get to everybody, but limited time, and y'all know how it goes sometimes. I think
Yeah,
I did.
I saw that, and I appreciate that.
I think I put you in the video. Yeah, I shouted you out, and I got Annie, and I got Delta and Tanya, and I tried to. Cause y'all been down since day one, so we appreciate y'all.
That's cool.
I've been noticing you've been putting out more videos lately too.
Oh, yeah, I've been trying.
That's good. You got to get yourself recognized and known and stuff, and you put your music out there too.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
shared it
trying
on my
really
page.
hard with that.
So, good. So you doing all the music yourself, like by yourself, as far as
Yeah.
making the tracks and the beats and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mix and master yourself too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We ready.
Hit the like button. There's the chat. I'm in the chat. How do you highlight people's names? Annie is the moderator. That's why her name's highlighted.
Right. Annie's the moderator. Her name gonna be up there.
Let's bring us up a little higher. Is she Aquarius?
Yes, I am.
More, you
Yeah.
Aquarius?
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
wow.
very
Did you get that?
Aquarius.
I do. I keep forgetting that. Okay, okay.
If you type my full name, it will highlight. Oh, okay.
Who want their name highlighted?
Oh, you meant Delta. Okay. You see.
Maybe they want their name highlighted. It says
Mm-hmm.
stop playing. Highlight my name.
Oh, because he highlighted her name. He typed the full name.
Oh, that's
I
why.
thought she changed her name. Did you change the name? Oh, you changed it back. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at. She had her middle name on her one time. Now she put it back on her last name.
You're an Aquarius INFJ. I'm an Aquarius INFP squad.
Team air
Annie,
sign.
what's your
Okay.
sign?
You say what?
What's Annie's sign?
Annie is a Libra.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my chart's like 60% air, I think. And it's all fixed air too, so mostly Aquarius.
I appreciate you all. We appreciate you, Umbria. Well, I
Definitely
found out what
appreciate
kind
you
of
saying
person I
that.
am. I'm an ISTP person.
ISTP?
INDEP.
Huh?
ISTP?
Yeah. Thinking, problem solving.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, I took the test.
I just think I'm a problem. That's it. Not a problem solver, but just a problem. Not a problem.
All right, so more, we're gonna let you kick this one off, and we're gonna follow your lead, or
All right.
disagree if need be.
All right. So I was going to ask a question.
Okay.
So, and anyone can answer this. Do you agree or disagree with this? People who are addicted to drugs and alcohol are rightfully punished.
Say that one more time.
People who are addicted to drugs and alcohol are rightfully punished.
No,
No.
no, because believe it or not, being on drugs is like having a mental illness. So if a person says they did a heinous crime, they did a heinous crime while on medication or a substance, sometimes their prison sentence is not the same as if you just do a heinous crime. But on the flip side of that, there was a rapper maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Um, he got on bath salt and he ate his roommate's girlfriend and killed
Jeez.
her and ate her. Well, he unalived her and then he ate her. And he got caught walking down the street, blood in his mouth, butt naked. And when he came to, he said it was not him. It was the bath salt, and no one believed that being the case. So,
Okay, well, let me rephrase it. Because, like, let's say it's not what anyone does while on drugs, but like the fact that somebody
So,
is an addict, do you think that they should be punished for that?
so you saying the fact that they're on drugs is punishment enough because of what they're
Mhm.
doing to themselves?
Right. Should they be
Okay.
punished for that?
Punished as far as
Just
like,
for being on drugs, like before they've done anything else.
oh,
no.
no. For just being on drugs itself or just being an addict itself, I don't think you should be put in jail or nothing.
Hmm.
If you start breaking in houses and stuff like that to feed your addiction, then yes,
Hmm.
I think that's when you should be put in jail. But just for being an addict itself, because everybody is an addict to something. To
Right.
something. Social media, food, work, you know what I'm saying, cars, whatever, something. So, and you shouldn't, people shouldn't be put in jail for that, just for having an addiction.
All right, we
Right.
got messages here. We got messages here. Uh, Annie started off by saying no. Delta Roots punished by the law. Umbrian, no, they need a life frame to change their consciousness and quit drugs. Change says yes. And I see others from an observant way, but we should never judge others. being on drugs is not like a mental illness. It's a coping mechanism or lack of discipline. Damn, that Marine. That Marine.
Yeah, the Marines don't care.
What they have to go through is punishment. 10 years, greater, so that's 100. Drugs, doing drugs is a depression. Either they might have a heartbreak and I think they won't change themselves, but even if it's tried, it requires power and discipline. No punishment for having an addiction. We finally understand, Andy. I'm sorry. We didn't understand the question at first.
Right. Right.
But no, I don't think just because you're on drugs, you should be punished due to the simple fact that there are some functioning whatever heads you want to call them. So that wouldn't be fair to a functioning addict. That would only be fair to a addict that's out of control.
Right. Have you guys heard about the study that they did with rats where
Oh
they
yeah, yeah.
like put them in a cage with like water that was
And they
laced with
took care of
cocaine
them.
and then water with
Yeah,
no cocaine
they
in
took
it?
care. They had food and water, and the rats behaved like a society. They all helped each other. Everybody got fed. But when they let the food and water run out, the rats got scavengers, started eating each other, pushing each other down, trying to get to the food. That's the same way society is.
Well, the one I'm talking about is like they put one rat in one cage with like nothing to do, and they had just water bottles, and one water bottle was just regular water, and the other one was water laced with cocaine. And since the rat had nothing to do and it was isolated, it didn't have any other rats to hang out with, then it went for the cocaine water and pretty much killed itself really quickly. But then what they did is they built this like they called it Rat Park, where they just made it like a huge thing with a bunch of other rats and like a bunch of tunnels and food and like things that they could do. And then they still put both the water bottles in there, and the rats didn't want anything to do with the cocaine water anymore because they had other forms of that, like dopamine and other things to keep them stimulated. But without all that stuff in isolation, that's what forms addiction.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow.
For two reasons, right? Um, just like you said, what causes addiction or what the temptations and stuff like that. And two, the other one, which I think is really interesting, is they always do rat studies and compare the results of a rat study to humans.
Mhm.
I think that's interesting that
But that's
there's other animals and stuff.
what they use and say that's comparable to us.
I mean, but I'm just well now a lot of times they
So they
use
say
rodents,
chimpanzees are
and that's what I'm saying. There's other animals that's closer related than rats. You know what I'm saying? But they always seem to do HIV studies and experimental drug studies and on rats. Is it because nobody like rats? People, you know what I'm saying, like are disgusted by rats. So it's like it's okay if you give them lepers, you know what I'm talking about, or polio or
in some cases they eat rats. Some countries
right. Some countries do eat rats, right?
like a lot.
Ugh. I don't even.
They usually send them to rehab the first time they get in trouble because they say they're addicted. So what about all the crimes they do after they get out of rehab? Yeah. I always stay calm and pay dollars and give them music creations and doors to change their path. It's so it's not scary for me, but the ordinary minds they treat them as wrong. Well, love and kindness is needed. Only Mickey and Minnie. Certain drugs are addictive. One hit and that's it. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Some drugs are one hit and it's done. Like finito.
Yep.
Yeah. And another thing, like going back to that rehab deal with how they could just do stuff getting out of rehab and just spiral back down into addiction. There was actually a study done in Portugal where like everyone was using drugs, and so like there was a lot of people getting punished for it. And so they didn't have, or they wanted to see what would happen if they took that same amount of money that was going towards like the punishments if they used it to support the people that had addictions. So what they did is they made all drugs legal, from pot to
Mm,
crack, like everything
yeah,
was
yeah.
legal. And so they wanted to
Mhm.
see what would happen. And then everybody who was on drugs was then able to get support from people and be put into like these kind of communities where they could be shown that there is people who care about them and there's like a path into a community of, because addiction is formed in isolation, and
Mm,
that's what that's what you go to because that's the only thing that you feel like you have. And so after
that's deep.
actually getting the support from people like during their addiction, then they actually didn't even want to go back to drugs after that. So
So
Mm.
based off of that, you're saying any person that is addicted to something, if they get a real support system, they'll stop doing it. Huh. That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Um, okay, so just to challenge that a little bit, right? Just to make this interesting. So if addiction is formed out of isolation,
Mhm.
I think that's the word you use.
That is.
Most people are introduced to drugs by someone else. You see what I'm saying? Like most people,
Yeah.
especially like the old school crackheads, you know what I'm saying? And
Meth
they
head,
meth heads, they introduced to those drugs by
pill
someone else,
popper.
and they normally do consume those drugs with someone else.
Or
Right.
their circumstances drive them to try drugs.
Or right. Now that's true too, but the majority of people are normally introduced through someone else because most people are really scared to try drugs
Hmm.
Mhm.
until they know somebody who they comfortable with, maybe an uncle, a cousin, a best friend who tried meth. And like, okay, they ain't dead. So
Hmm.
damn, maybe I can try a little meth too. And then they like, yeah, go ahead, sis, go ahead, bro. It'll be okay. I split it with you. You see what I'm saying? So now
Mhm.
you roped in like that. But going back to the other side, I think that the isolation part comes in mentally because you hear people say, I was in a crowd of people and I still felt alone.
Yes.
So
Right.
I was just arguing both sides of what you were saying.
All right, let me get to these comments. I mean,
Okay.
we should never judge a book by its cover. Delta PCP. Annie, I know people that are addicted badly and they don't do anything to help themselves. I can only pray that they get busted for something, they get put in jail, then they'll get clean. True. Jail does sober people up. And good and bad souls are always there, but they should be happy on the inside. Most people are good in general, but in circumstances change. I never did drugs or smoke weed. I don't even drink alcohol. Damn. So it's challenging for me to relate to this topic. My opinion is probably biased. I agree with you, lady. I see addiction with my uncle and cousin. Jail has never helped for an addict. More drugs are in jail. What would happen if they hear loud music in the control room with 4,800 hertz frequency or higher? That's why I made music creations to treat humanity wisely. Okay. Um, Deltas. I see. I understand your stance of never trying the substance, but all substance aren't bad. But anything anything in excess can become an addiction. So just because she's talking about addiction, that's not the only addiction she's talking about. Like there's sexual addictions, there's physical addiction, there's all kind of addictions.
Absolutely. Yes.
So
Yep.
don't just think
Yep.
that they're just drugs,
Right. Right.
because you can have maybe a workout addiction, and
True. That's true.
that could be unhealthy too.
It is. Oof, it can be. Yep.
Speak on it.
You work out too much, and it's actually a term for people who work out too much, or the physical harm that you're doing to your body when you work out too much. Take it from somebody who work out too much sometimes and got to deal with that effect. So I sit my ass down. Literally, okay, in Iron Man said literally the thing that's keeping me alive is the thing that's killing me. And he was talking
Mm.
about the little thing he had right here in his chest.
Hmm.
For people who work out a lot, the thing that you enjoy doing is the thing that's breaking you down.
Hmm.
Trust me on it. That's why you see bodybuilders who used to look like Hulk Hogan now, in their older years, they come down on that weight.
CT
You
flexing.
can't constantly live, and I tell people this all the time, 300, 400, 500 pounds for 10 years straight. I don't care, squat, deadlifts, bench press, whatever you're doing, your body, the effect of what you're doing to your body, it look good on the outside. But on the inside, your body is screaming for you to stop. I'm telling y'all, listen, y'all, do it when you're young, enjoy it when you're young, and then start to taper off because you learn your body. You learn what it takes to have that look and maintain that look, and it's not heavyweight. I ain't here to preach, but I'm just here to give y'all my experience. I used to be 225 pounds, way bigger, rocked up, solid, jacked up. Ask me why. That's when I had the most injuries I ever had in my life. Why I popped my shoulder. Why I fell off doing pull-ups. Why my back, all type of stuff, y'all. It ain't working. It ain't working. But on the outside, for folk looking, they're like, oh, said swole, said jack. Now, no more. When you know better, you do better. I'm telling y'all, when you know better, you do better. And I'm just as strong now as I was then. I'm just saying, man.
All right, so we got a few comments, and then I'll let Morgan get back to it with us. So we should let everyone do what they want, but letting them be productive and focus on future. Doug said, okay, every action done on decision creates situations to deal with in life. That's true. God's everybody some kind of junkie. That just popped in my head. I enjoy jogging and making meals and doing my prayer, but helping all love cats and kittens and treating with kindness doesn't hurt. Oh yeah, said how you lose belly fat?
Who asked that?
Delta.
Okay, how you lose belly fat? First, start with your carbs. Take out the bread. Take out the bread. I don't know how many sandwiches you eat a day, but eat one, no more than one. If you eat less than one, that'd be great. Because one sandwich a day is 14 slices of bread a week, 7 days in a week. That's too much bread. 14 slices of bread is too much bread in a week. So start with bread. Start there. And then hit me up in the DM. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I got you. I got you, bro. For real. But just start there for real and do that for like 1 month and see what your results is. 1 month, cut your bread down.
All right.
My problem is dairy. Now that we're talking about it, I drink so much milk, and I need to stop.
Listen, cut that out too.
I know.
Listen, milk is pus. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to get disgusting on y'all. I don't mean to get too dim rat on y'all. Don't drink milk.
I drink it too
Why should
much.
we drink milk?
Listen, humans are the only creatures that drink another creature milk willingly. A lion cub won't drink a goat's milk if another lion is
so
available.
weird.
Humans are the only creature that drink another creature's milk willingly. Everybody else
when you feed a baby tiger.
Willingly though. That's what I'm saying. If it was another tiger or tigress around, that cub would prefer to eat from the tigress than a human feeding it a bottle, which is cow's milk or whatever type of milk it is.
Right.
Humans, we the only one that drink another creature's milk. Cows, willingly. And
Ice cream.
Oh man.
I'm just saying,
That
like,
makes me feel gross.
here's the thing that we got to think about. When they milk a cow, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a reason that they skim the fat and they do all this stuff. It's blood in there, it's pus in there. I don't mean to be nasty, y'all, but milk ain't good. I ain't trying, and I know a lot of y'all like it, so my bad. But listen, anything that say homogenized and pasteurized, that means it's been boiled. They got it in a big old vat and they boiled it, and then they put it in a box for it to cool down. The nutrients is gone. They tell you vitamin D, but most of us are vitamin D deficient. Even black folks, I'm just saying, y'all, and y'all wonder why. Milk ain't good for bones. Milk is not good for bones. It's not.
So what's almond milk?
Okay, almond milk is better than regular milk, right? But
What is
I
it?
always say, how do you get milk from something that don't produce milk? I'm with you on that. But what they do is they just keep grinding it and grinding it and grinding it and add water, just regular water and grinding it.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why it's only like 2 ingredients in almond milk, like almond and water. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But we really got to watch what we're consuming because milk ain't good for us. You know what I'm saying? But if you go around saying that, you might be on the milk box. You know what I'm saying? So milk, I don't drink milk.
So what should they substitute milk for? What else?
I know a lot of people
with
water.
And he said it don't taste the same.
You're already eating the sweet cookie. You just need something to wash it down with. That's our problem now. Sweet on sweet,
But what if
starch
you
on
like to
starch.
dip it in liquid so it gets soft?
Dipping in some water. You know what I'm talking
So it
about?
gets soft?
Yes. And you have cookie water.
Wow. Wow.
Nah, I'm just joking on that one. Honestly, y'all, I don't eat enough cookies to answer that question. Whatever you eat your cookies, we'll continue to eat it. I'm just giving you the facts. It's certain people, y'all, you ever see like, I wonder why that woman in the forest, because I don't know if y'all heard the story about the woman in the forest. It's a tale, but she lived to be like 125 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they say it was a real woman.
Okay.
It was because of the things that she ate. Nature tells us how to eat. The 3 breakfast thing ain't true. The 3 meals a day. That ain't true.
How many meals a day should I have?
5.
1 meal
What?
a day?
Or eat when you get hungry. Our body tells us what to do.
So
The
wait, one like
colonizers, no
big meal a
disrespect, but the
day?
colonizers brought in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 meals a day, because they didn't see the Africans eating enough.
So let me ask you a question. Your body lets you know you're hungry because your stomach rumble or because you get lightheaded?
No, okay. So most of the time when your stomach rumbles, you're normally thirsty and not hungry. That's why they say drink something before you eat.
Okay.
Wait 5 minutes, and then you'll tell if you're really hungry. Because most of the time, our body is telling us, "I need some water." You see what I'm saying? But when you tell people these things, they be like, "Said you don't know what you're talking about." That's why I don't never say it. I be like, "Okay, cool. So be it. I'm just in the gym for the past 17 years. No problem. I don't know what I'm talking about though." These
So
are
you
things
eat
that.
one big meal?
Well, no. Eat when you get hungry,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Your body tells you when to eat, but we are conditioned to eat breakfast, right?
Mhm.
They say traditionally that you shouldn't eat till like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. That's what they say.
Mm.
But we will eat because we be like, damn, I ain't had breakfast yet. And you ain't even hungry, but you convinced yourself to eat because you ain't had breakfast. Because we was taught, you see what I'm saying? That we should eat
Mhm.
breakfast. No benefit. They say it's a benefit, but think about any other time you put a meal in your body. Don't they say that weigh you down? So why the first thing in the morning they tell you to eat bacon, sausage, pancakes, heavy
Yeah,
stuff
no.
that's gonna weigh you down, but your day just started? You see what I'm saying? When we actually
Yeah.
stop and thinking about it, it really don't make sense for real. It's
So
just another way
what
to
if you
sell
force
stuff.
yourself to eat like a healthy breakfast in the morning? Wouldn't that give you more energy?
You honestly, you have all the energy we need because we just was resting. No, seriously, you ever had too much rest and be tired? Okay, but when you get that right amount of sleep, you wake up energized. So you see what I'm saying? Once again, these are, and I do it too, so I don't want nobody to think I don't do it. But these are things that we tell ourselves. I need to be more energized. Let me eat something. I need to do this. Let me eat something. Well, we were programmed to do that. We were programmed to eat breakfast in the day, in the morning, first thing in the morning, wake up, eat breakfast, and to have energy throughout the rest of your day. But have you ever tried just once to not eat breakfast and still go to work? We've all done that before. Did you fall out? No. Did you was focused. You see what I'm saying? Because even though you still thought, damn, I ain't ate none yet, that didn't stop you from doing your job, being productive at work. If you got kids, raising your kids, if you got a spouse, being whatever to your spouse. Man, I'm just saying, y'all, it's a lot of stuff that we are just okay. Another thing that we're conditioned to do from birth is go to the bathroom before we go to bed. Even if you don't have to pee. Think about that. And you still gonna get up throughout the night and go to the bathroom because that's your body gonna wake you up. But we all do it because we did it as kids. Because our parents didn't want to change our diaper throughout the night. Go to bed or go to the restroom before you go to bed. So you don't pee in the bed. And now as grown folk, we all still do. Say we don't. Come
I
on now,
don't.
y'all all know. Stop. You know, you be the main one. Look at you. Tiptoeing to the restroom real quick. I gotta pee.
So what
Sandy
about
said,
so what
we are
about
one creatures that tell other creatures what to do. Get it? Delta
Man, crazy.
said you need to do a video on health and getting bodies back and right.
I'm with you on that, Delta. It's actually coming. Shout out to my brother PSD. He put that in motion too. So
Your
absolutely.
body will tell you when you really need to eat.
Yes.
Then put real stuff in your belly, not
Yes.
processed food.
Absolutely. Your body
so
will
should
tell
you
you
work
everything
out
you need.
like on an empty stomach or should you work out after you eat?
No, work out on an empty stomach, you burn more calories. You see what I'm saying? Because you're burning the stored fat. You know what I'm saying? Which is just energy turns to stored fat if it's not used. So
Mhm.
when you do what's called a fasted workout, You know what I'm saying? You're burning that stored energy. And that's what you want to do. And then what you want to do is not only burn off that stored energy, but get to that next layer of stored energy from the day before. Because you know, the more we eat, all you're doing is pushing out food from 3 or 4 days previous, not what you just ate. So if you don't, you want to burn that off when you're in the gym or whatever your activity is, hiking, rollerblading, ice skating. You want to get through 2 or 3 layers of this stored fat. Burn off as much as you can on an empty stomach. You're
So
gonna
then
get
you can
tired.
eat right after you work out, or
Oh
like
yeah. Now you have what's called a carryover effect or carryover burn. They say up to 30 minutes you can eat whatever you want, and I agree with that. Everybody got their opinions on that, but I tell you right now, I go to Whataburger after the workout. For real. I go to Whataburger probably twice a week and get probably a double or a triple. If y'all know what Whataburger is, I get a double or a triple twice a week. I mean, like I do my workout in less than 5 minutes because it's like right across the street. I'm at Whataburger. No fries. I don't eat French fries. No drink. I don't do the drinks. Those are actually the two worst parts of the meal. But that burger, yeah. I got 30 minutes.
work
I can
out
eat
every
whatever I
day?
want. Huh?
Do you work out every day?
Yes. I work out every day. But that's why when we was talking about it earlier, if you work out too much, you're doing
Hmm.
a disservice to your body. So I listen to my body. On the days where I ain't feeling it, I'm not going. If it's 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row, I'm not going.
Delta said I was running cross country before I
Ooh,
was slim and tried. I stopped running. Umbrian said I put a gap of 6 hours, but I eat in balanced time and management.
that's right. And I would love to talk to Umbrian about her diet because I know she's strict on her diet. I know she is. You know, because I know most Muslim folks are. You know what I'm saying on what they eat and how they eat in the time frame. So I would love to talk it up with her about that. My daughter ran track since she was maybe 7, right? And she's 20 now. So she works out with me, and when we get finished working out, we go for a run, and that's her. She's leading. I'm following. That's her thing. That's her world. And it's so hard, y'all. It takes so much energy to run. So when Delta said he ran cross country, I give him all the props in the world. It's so hard to run 8 laps around the track competitively. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Umbrian says she looks 10 years younger than her age. I guess because of her diet, right?
I could, yes. Okay, let me say this too, right? Since we're talking about diets and stuff, fellas, you might want to hear this one. Listen, you can eat certain food that make your stroke game efficient. Also, you are what you eat, and take that for what I'm saying. You are what you eat, so your spouse may be able to taste what you're eating if you feel what I'm saying,
Yes.
diet wise. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, y'all.
All right. Umbrian says she's 31 years, but she looks 22.
She do
Shane
look young.
said, Cedric, who told our body to eat pig feet and chitlins? I'll wait.
Okay, I can tell.
Go
I
ahead.
can answer that. So who told us to eat pig feet and chitlins? Matt's and them, because that's all they gave us to eat back in the day. That was it. And amazing now is a delicacy now, but that's because when they get to see it every day, hey, they enjoy eating this. Hold on, I want to try that. Boom. But that's who told us eat pig feet, and I've never ever ate a pig foot, and I've never tried chitlins in my life, and I refuse to try it.
Never did neither one of those myself.
I refuse to try it.
Delta said my comment came out wrong. Running kept me in shape. Never had a belly fat. Umbrian said I never harm my soul. Also, I love experimental music on my soul, and you must experience a movie with We Are Your Friends. Tanis, I'm a foodie, but my hair tells my reality too. It's genetically silver lining in it. I don't like trying to artificial looks. One should be comfortable in their skin.
Okay, okay. Um, that last statement right there, I want to chop that up real quick.
Go ahead.
Comfortable in your skin. That's something that I personally had to do. The very first time I walked backstage, I know a lot of y'all know I do amateur bodybuilding. So the first time I walk backstage and I'm seeing these guys, it's a humbling experience. It's a humbling experience. I'm talking about these dudes is like, you see how me and this is sitting here? These dudes be as wide as both of us with muscle. and you like, I gotta compete against him? Like, nah. But then that's when you learn about weight classes and divisions and age and blah, 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 so they can keep it fair. But they don't tell you that till like, right, you know what I'm saying? So you thinking, I gotta go up against this big monster dude. Like, he looked like a body. I don't look like a bodybuilder until I flex.
That'd be fair for trans.
Oh. Well, okay, I'll say this. And it hasn't happened yet, but I seriously doubt that they would allow a trans, no disrespect to that community, but they will allow a trans in a bodybuilding competition. That's too much of an advantage. Too much. Especially in quote unquote like the bodybuilding category. Because you know they have bodybuilding for women, then they have physique and blah blah blah.
Definition.
More the sexiness, right?
Right.
But even in the bodybuilding portion, it's just too much of an advantage. Give both of them the same training period, 8 weeks, and this man is going to look way bigger than her.
Delta said food is an addiction. Hannah
Yes.
Marks, love them.
Food is an addiction.
And that was Annie.
One of the
People
biggest.
saying I'm gaining weight. And time management with food and exercise with work makes a humble, productive life. Delta don't believe it. And people saying the society can't be happy if you are progressive. I wanted to publish my book, Life, a musician, girl, book as a gift when I decided to marry in the future. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But shout out to all that too. It's important, y'all. Wait, you got something we've been talking for a minute. What you got? Well, go ahead. Let you talk for a minute.
I was gonna go back to that addiction thing we were talking
Okay, yeah,
about.
come on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. When we were talking about how usually addiction will start because of
Loneliness.
somebody else and like being in that group.
Uh-huh.
I think the difference is not being isolated, but having a group that supports you getting better.
Mhm.
So not necessarily being around other people that are fueling that addiction and fueling something that they know isn't good for you. That's still isolation within that addiction. But when you have other people that are
I
like
agree.
supportive of your sobriety and are wanting to get you back into the world and like doing, you know, when people can show you a reason to not turn to drugs, that's when people are more likely to get away from it and not go back to it.
I got two things
Not
on
even
that.
just drugs, just addiction in general.
So what do you think about, or what's your thoughts on functioning addicts? People who still can go to work every day, or people who still can pay their bills, raise their kids, and blah blah blah. But they still are, and I'm talking about hard drugs, like I don't want to say it on here. Let's say Rogaine, what we said, the Act Right, which is the crackhead. You know what I'm saying? So like the hard stuff.
Well,
But they
I
still
don't think
can
anybody
maintain.
functioning on the act right.
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, like, let's say
on the road game, you can function on the road game.
Right, you can.
You can function on meth.
Right. So
ice.
So
we call it ice.
Ice. Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? On the people who function on those heavier drugs?
I guess you could function on oxy too, right?
I don't know. Maybe
Oxy, Roxy,
like the pills and stuff.
yeah, lower that. I guess. I mean, most people say they be zooted out, but I guess you could function with that.
I mean, I don't know. Can you? And see that, and that's why we
It's
talk.
depressing.
It is. So
Like Rogaine is the upper.
right,
Ice is the upper.
right.
Adderall.
But they crash hard though.
Yeah.
No, so okay.
I think that like regardless of whatever the addiction is, I think it's still causing a lot of harm to the body, whether they can function with it or not.
Yeah,
And so, and they're
don't
going to
think-
keep turning to that if they don't feel like they're supported in other areas of their life. So,
yeah.
But like
once
people
they
that do
have that
Rogaine,
support,
they have heart problems. Like your heart will stop working if you keep doing that on a like daily basis. But they can function. Like I know, like you just said, we shouldn't get on the point that just because they're functioning that they're not hurting themselves.
Right.
But like Delta said a couple while ago, food can be an addiction too. Anything can be an addiction. Anything in excess is an addiction.
I want to get your thoughts on this too. Before I say that, shout out to Deuce the Deuces. He said his thing ain't working. He's watching, but he can't leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? So Deuce the Deuces, appreciate you tuning in. But let me get your thoughts on this. What do you feel about Amsterdam? Because I found out in Amsterdam, drugs are not illegal. That's the common misconception. They just have a location, which I didn't know this. In the city, they have a location where everybody can go where now. Right.
And it
now.
was legal.
Right. Well, weed was it wasn't that it was legal, the laws were lax on it.
Shrooms,
Yeah.
marijuana,
Right.
and something else.
The laws were very lax on that.
It was
Now
okay.
they have a section of the city
Yeah.
where you can go and do any
So that's what
drug.
people started coming there thinking.
Right. Everybody was right.
Narrative, yeah.
And I was like, oh snap, because my whole life, well, up to that point, I thought the same thing. Like everybody just flocked to Amsterdam, openly just walking around doing whatever. But no, you know what I'm saying? They have a section of the city where you go to do your thing. Also, my point of saying that is to say this. What do you think about them giving away free needles and stuff like that? That needle program where they take the old needles and give them new needles and say that they're stopping the spread of diseases and stuff.
Ooh. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's hard because I don't think that's the kind of support they should be giving.
I agree.
But it's also like if
It's helping on one hand, but it
yeah,
continues them to do drugs. Like they're not going to stop because now they get clean needles and stuff. The spread of disease and stuff is cut down, but
yeah.
the desire to use isn't. It's still there. It's actually you're enabling them now.
I think if there was a like separate thing that they were doing where there was like a program, because what they did in Portugal was like they had programs set up to like help people who were recovering addicts like get into like a new job or school or whatever, and like there were like mentors helping these people like get back into the real world. So I think if they would at least do something like that and like at least give them help outside of the addiction.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to do that, then that would be okay, I guess. But I don't know. That's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh shit.
Okay, what you got?
All right. So all right, let's go.
Yeah, we missed a lot.
It depends on it depends on the addiction because a person must want to change within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say true. Things that I love: fat meat, eggs, biscuits, and jam. Lord have mercy. I would have bought a juice for you and music if I see anyone falling because of drugs. Dre, what's your thoughts? I don't even think Dre is on anymore. I don't know. And he said you can function on all the drugs. The problem comes when you don't have the quality.
Quantity that your body is used to.
That your body,
That's true.
yeah, that's where withdrawals and all that.
Right. Right. Yep.
I love a good ribeye steak, medium well. Trying to listen around deep were my loves. This is a bunch of meditation and clouds, balloon, chill mix on YouTube. Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's a feeling. It's the feeling. How can you relieve the feeling of that drug? People who are addicted, if it was easy, they can stop. And that's true. That is true. Like they said, they always chasing that first high. They always trying to get that feeling back of that very first time. And let me say this, right? I grew up in New York City, right? And I moved here at a very young age, but at an age to where I had already seen and was already exposed to a lot of stuff. And when it comes to drugs and zombies and crackheads and all that, it was like I could walk out my door and trip over one. No exaggeration on that neither. And a lot of people who's watching right now in the comments and stuff actually know, well, they're not in the comments, but they're watching. They know what I'm talking about. So I have a biased opinion towards a lot of stuff. I grew cold-hearted to a lot of stuff, and it wasn't until I became a grown man that I actually seen the drug epidemic for what it really is and how bad it actually really is. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we went through stuff personally as a family because of drugs, I just grew more cold-hearted to it as a child. Like, oh, I hate drug dealers, or I hate people who use drugs. because we had to go through this.
Right.
But it wasn't until I became grown that I started to care about the situation, the drug epidemic, especially over the Black community, because of what it do, the 30-year effect that it could have. The problem, not the problem, but the question that I still have to this day that I don't understand why a crackhead did what he did. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
How they literally have the strength to carry a refrigerator and ride a bicycle. I've seen it. Literally, I've seen that. It wasn't full.
No.
The refrigerator was empty.
Yeah,
But just the
but
fact
I'm
that they can balance it on their shoulder,
Yeah.
hold it, and ride a bike.
Yeah.
Like
They do
crackhead
some
strip is
amazing
real.
shit.
They do some amazing stuff to get a few dollars
Act right.
to get some act right.
Act right.
It's crazy the power of these drugs, period. You know, you have people cutting the wire
You
out
know
of,
more than just that though.
but
To do that with the refrigerator,
they use their smarts
they real
for bad.
knew them.
They
Yes.
use, yeah. I seen, well, I didn't see it, but I know a dude who cut the wiring out of industrial
Cable.
AC.
Yeah.
Like perfectly, to
Mhm.
where they can put it back in, so he can go cut it again. Like his thing was to not damage the AC unit. It was
Yeah.
to get them to constantly put the copper back in, so he can constantly go steal it. My uncle, I got an uncle, y'all. Personal story. I got an uncle who made a satellite out of a garbage can lid. Yes, yes.
That's
This
crazy.
dude is a borderline genius. Real talk. I don't like to swear, but I swear. You know what I'm talking about? Like but still, yes, super smart. It was on drugs. So like these people, that's why I had asked you about functioning and stuff like that, because even though, and I'm being honest with you, he couldn't hold a job down. He couldn't hold a job down because he probably gonna steal something. But he always had a way to get money and stuff like that. And it's like, it's crazy to watch this, to see this as a child, and you know he on drugs, but you see a satellite dish that he made, and you like, hold up, you supposed to be at MIT or something, I don't know, somewhere prestigious or something, but you around here in the hood, you know what I'm saying, doing drugs. Man,
I think that's another thing about like
Dave Chappelle
the
said cocaine to hell is a
motivations
drug.
of people.
Rick
Rick James, yeah. Go ahead,
I
my
think
bad.
I think that's another thing is like the motivations of people, like what their intentions are and what's driving them. Is
Mhm.
if they don't have like a job or friends or family that loves them, if they're not taking care of themselves for any reason, then they're going to turn to drugs or they're going to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms. And it's all
Yep.
about like their mental state and because they have that power in their mind
Mhm.
of whatever they want to do. They have the power to do that, but it becomes dangerous to them based off of what they're doing it for.
Mhm. Yes.
So
Yes. It becomes second. You know what I'm saying? Like the drug is priority, and then that takes second. Delta made a
right.
good comment. He said during the pandemic, a lot of crackheads was not getting sick.
Act right.
A lot of the act rights, you know what I'm saying, wasn't getting sick. And that's true right there. That
Mhm.
is true. A
And they
lot
were
of them,
outside in the element.
and they was outside without masks on, still living their lives. They didn't change at all.
But
They
they
was
said that was
still,
fake.
Hmm?
They said the coronavirus was fake.
Well, I got my thoughts on that, I do. I got my thoughts on it.
That'll definitely get the vibe cut.
Right, exactly. But I think that's an interesting sentence right there, that a lot of the act right did not get sick. They made it through. Now I'm sure it was some of them, you know what I'm saying, but not enough of them to where it became a thing. It wasn't a lot of homeless folks who was filling up the hospitals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was other folks,
Yeah.
Regular,
People that try different foods.
right, exactly, and people, working people or whatever. So that's a very good statement about that.
And another thing
Overall,
like about that like same topic kind of is when you go to the hospital and they like need to put you on medications for whatever, if you're getting like surgery or something, they'll give you like pure like they give heroin like but at the time if you're getting surgery and they give you like the purest form of heroin and then you come out of that, you're not going to come out of that an addict. But when you're on the streets and just trying to get it like as easy as you can get it and it's laced with a bunch of other stuff,
mhm.
you're going to keep getting it simply because you have the access to it and there's nothing for you to lose really, or at least you don't feel like there is. And then that also comes with the shame placed on you by everyone else of being
Mhm.
an addict And so that shame will continue that spiral for you, and
Yes.
then you feel like more and more like you don't have anything to prove of yourself, so you'll just keep doing what you know you can't mess up.
Oh, I agree with that. It's it's hard, right? Some
Mhm.
people use it as an excuse. Some people use it to hide from life. You know what I'm saying, and not face whatever the case may be. Some people may have lost somebody, whatever, and fell into it that way. It's many different ways for people to become addicted, especially to drugs or food, because that's another one as well. Food,
Depression,
yeah, depression,
lack of self-love,
yes,
lack of
yep, finances, love, approval,
love,
society, yeah, it's just
yeah.
especially for women, you know, because they tend to need that more so than men. Men need it, but we are used to not getting it or getting it to like this level right here.
But
Women may need it to that level.
I think when men don't get it at all,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they become functioning females.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
So
Okay.
like Morg said, when you in isolation, when you feel like you have no one, that's when that's the only thing to turn to.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what's crazy though? This is crazy. You see a lot of act rights that got a mate, that got a spouse. You see a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? Like husband, wife, and you like, wait a minute. You act right, but you got a wife and been together, and she with you. She out here doing it with you.
She tried it too.
Yeah, and it's like, here it is. This person go to work, and that's what I was talking about, right?
Yeah, that's the peer pressure.
But this person go to work every day. You know what I'm saying? And he's single, and he on the act right too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he can't find nobody. He's like, here it is, Mr. Larry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the nigga up a name. Mr. Larry, he been with his wife for 75 years. And you're like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of preachers that used to do that.
A lot of preachers.
Ex-pimps,
yes.
old preachers.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, like that's when people find God.
So how is
When
it
they go to jail, and when they feel like they're at the bottom of life, that's when they find God.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I personally think if you're single and you're on something like that, if you're single, I think you have a better chance of getting off of it than if you're with someone who also does it, because you guys won't stop feeding
Together.
you won't stop bouncing off each other and
right. And
being
somebody
that
may
influence.
always be able to have some money. You know, like if you don't have it, she got it. If she ain't got it, you got it. You know, like you said, it's always going to be drugs available. That temptation is always there. And then what happens if she quit, but he's still doing it? You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's going to be hard for her to get herself together because he's still doing it. It's
Exactly.
yeah. I agree with that. It's easier when you're by yourself. And
Because
I don't
only
know
you can make that decision for yourself.
That's
And
right.
there's no one else telling you, like, there's no one telling you that you can easily just keep doing it because I'm doing it or whatever the case.
But
it's like your decision.
But you know, it's crazy. My life again. I meet the strangest and weirdest and wildest people. But I realize some people feel like once they're on it, it's so hard not to be on it. Like they try to withdraw. It's so terrible or painful that they'd rather just stay on it and not try to get off of it.
Right. Well, yeah.
Because I know a young lady.
Yeah.
She was doing pills, and she went in there and told them she was doing something crazy, strong, like heroin or some crazy, and they put her on methadone.
They do that a lot too, yeah.
But she wasn't on something hard enough to be on methadone.
So they just introduced a whole new thing.
Yeah, they asked her, and she agreed to it because she was high or whatever. And they're like, so do you do? And she's like, yeah, I do that too. But then when I was talking to her, she's like, I never did that, but now I can't function because they gave me methadone. I gotta find something almost as strong to keep me okay.
Yep. And that's what a lot of people, especially veterans and stuff, had that issue right there. Yep. They become an amputee, God forbid, or something like that, and then the VA is giving them, whatever. But then when they get out and they back in the real world, they can't find that good stuff that the hospital was giving them.
Right.
So they find the street drug equivalent, just as strong or almost as strong. And it's sad.
Tanya, what do you mean women need money? Hmm.
I want to have loyalty. More before, do you think people who are more sensible and not actually have more balance?
Ask her.
That's a good question. More.
Hmm.
Do you think people who are more sociable and not isolated as much are more balanced?
Yeah, absolutely. Because humans are meant for connection. Like, we're meant to socialize, and without that, we don't have that. What's the word? Like, if you're isolated for too long, then you're gonna start turning to whatever, however you can get dopamine within yourself
Mm-hmm.
without like talking to other people. You don't have that connection that you can share with other people. That's going to lead you to try to find that same source of connection, but in other things. And you're going to be, you're never going to have like somebody else to validate or kind of bounce off ideas with. And that's when, if all of your thoughts and ideas are just bouncing against a wall and back at you, that's when you start to go crazy, because you don't have somebody to tell you whether you're right or wrong, or to just, because you need to have that source of connection, otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agree. We need each other. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
people, humans, interaction, and all that other stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Uh, damn, 5:59. They trade one addiction for another. See, she can go shop and see different things. Healed immediately. Hmm. Mm,
Well, more.
that's true. People do trade one addiction for another.
They do.
They really do.
Because that's like when you go to rehab, and like I said, if you on something strong, they give you methadone because it's the
Mm.
strongest thing to get off heroin.
Mm-hmm.
It's the strongest thing to get off of act right. It's the strongest shit to get off a lot of shit.
Right.
But that fentanyl stronger than that. In the wrong way.
Right. Yes.
Mhm.
And
Like if you get a pill of fentanyl, I don't know how the milligrams go, but
mhm,
if you take a pill, you can be okay. You crush that pill and inhale it, that shit can kill you on the first one.
yep. Yes. Because as a pill, it's time release. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It dissolves in your stomach
Okay.
over
Okay.
time. It's time
Okay.
release. You
Okay.
snort it instantly in your
Yeah,
bloodline. You know what I'm
instantly.
saying? And so it's too fast. One thing too is fentanyl. You know how they be like in the hospital, oh, this is the good fentanyl. Listen, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's what you know what I'm saying. They just more controlled with it and know the proper amount to use. So I was watching the video and the dude was loopy and they were like, "Oh no, this the good stuff. It's the safe one." Like, whoa, what you mean the safe one? Your OD on that just as fast as the street version. So nah, yeah. It's crazy.
Umbrian, addictive mind don't think rationally all the time. Like when we talk about functioning, they still work. They have their whole mentality to work a regular job, pay
Right,
bills, but still get high.
right,
Like
right,
that's still part of their work purpose.
right,
So
right.
they don't necessarily make good decisions. Period.
No, they'll just work like you said, pay their bills and any extra money they have right over them. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, ooh, this is a good subject. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, because it opens up to so many different type of discussions. It leads
Right.
into abuse, like spousal abuse and stuff like
Hmm.
that, because
That can become an addiction
and that could be an addiction for especially for men who get used to hitting on women
or
and
hitting on
having
people.
some
Period. Yeah.
type of power or control.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like
then
Mhm.
calm
physical
down.
control.
Yeah.
Right.
Sex.
In the pimping society, that's guerrilla pimping.
Hmm.
That's a term for it, guerrilla
Hmm.
pimping when you're physically beating a woman. You know what
All
I'm
the
saying?
time. Right.
All the time. You guerrilla pimping. So a lot of dudes get get accustomed to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's addictive. They can't break that habit. They feel like any woman they get with gotta bend and submit to their will, or they're gonna hit them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Until you get the right one who hit back. Now you all feeling disrespected and all, oh, I can't believe. Well, you know that's gonna happen. You know, so it's so many different. Okay, social media is addictive behavior.
Mhm.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, that might be one of the main ones
Mhm.
Absolute crazy.
And I think
because
it's weird too that there's some that we punish people for having, but others that we don't. So that's why I think it's so interesting, like why we're punishing like drug addicts and like alcoholics, but we're not punishing people who are addicted to like social media and food and stuff. Like it's the same concept, it's just a different substance.
absolutely, yes, yes. I agree with that because one addiction is no greater than the other.
Mhm.
You know, if somebody is, I have a question. Food is your addiction. Is it the spoon's fault or yourself? That is a great question. The question was, if food is your addiction, is it your fault or the spoon's fault? Okay, let's talk about that one because me being a fitness person and training people, um, I used to think that it was all about your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. There's no discipline. No discipline. No discipline. No discipline.
Crazy.
But what ended up making me a better trainer was really understanding that people had an addiction with food, a real life addiction. People eat food when they're happy.
Yeah.
They eat it when they're sad.
Yeah.
They eat when they're thinking about something. They think about it when they under pressure. Right.
Yeah, every addiction
Every
is the same thing.
Yeah.
It
So
just has a different outcome.
right. That's it. You got, and with food you gain weight. So people see that outcome more so than if you were on Rogaine. Because some people do Rogaine every day, but because Rogaine is the upper, it keeps you slim. Relatively. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and people got to see it through other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on, bro, on Rogaine or sis on Rogaine.
Right.
You know, meth is another one that
Keeps you
gets
up.
you physically.
Yeah.
So you get to see the effects of that.
Laceration.
Yeah,
cut.
food gets you in the belly, under the chin, the arm, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But food is one of the more popular addictions because a lot of people don't see nothing wrong with eating a lot of food.
Hey,
Mhm.
grandpa,
You see what I'm saying? And they be like, oh man, I'm just eating good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. For women, they be like, oh, I'm thick. I'm just thick. You know what I'm saying? I like to eat, I'm getting food. So many people don't see food as a problem that they
Mhm.
become addicted to food before they realize it, before they know it.
And that's another thing is that like food addiction is being pushed because of so much advertisement of like bad foods and stuff. But if we were doing that same thing with like drugs on the shelves of stores, then it would be the same case.
That's right.
But
That's right.
instead, we see it as something totally different and we like shame drug addicts instead of like helping them. But and we do that with like people who are out of shape too, but then we keep pushing all of these like bad foods in their face and sugary things and
Yep.
like we're not pushing the right kind of support towards people and that's why addictions are so bad right now.
I agree. I agree. Social media having such a hold on people, it gives people a short attention span. It's harder
Mhm.
to work out when you have a short attention span. You're gonna go to the
Oh
gym
yeah.
and you're gonna leave in 30 minutes. You know, like forget that, I'm not into this no more. You were just into it 30, 40 minutes ago, and now
Yeah.
you're like, oh, on to the next thing. Let me go get me a mocha latte or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You gotta have a long workout?
No, not long, but it gotta be longer than 30 minutes. If you in the gym for 30 minutes, you didn't do nothing. Because being in the gym and working out for 30 minutes is two totally different things. If you worked out for 30 minutes, you probably was in the gym for an hour or up close to an hour. Because think you went in there, put your stuff down or whatever.
So what if you at your house and you work out for 30 minutes? That's not the same as working out in the gym?
To me, no, it's not the same. Because as you see, I got workout stuff right here off camera. And I don't use it as often as people would think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand that if I work at the house, I get lazy, I'm complacent.
Why?
Because I'm at home and I can stop whenever I want. I can go get the drink I want. I don't have to drink water. I can go in the kitchen and get, you know what I'm saying, like something that I want. So it's too comfortable. I'd rather be in the gym where I got to pay for a drink where I'm not gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know most of the people in here don't want to know I'm here to work out. I'm just more in the mindset of working out. At home, too many distractions. Somebody calling me, hey dad, my wife might need me to do something for her. You know what I'm saying? A friend, somebody, anything. Too many distractions.
Okay.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, put me in the gym. I'm comfortable in the gym.
What's
And
up, Jerry?
I'm the real gym. Jerry, what's happening?
Marines asking what's my favorite color. I'm saying blue, by the way. Just throwing it out there. Cobalt blue.
Blue.
Why not Jay Z Hugh?
All right. My favorite hue is Jay-Z Blue. All right. So wait, okay. So you said blue. Is your hair blue or green?
It's blue.
It's like teal.
Teal. Okay.
Yeah.
So teal is a blue though, right?
It's in the family.
Yeah,
Or is it in
it's
the
of the
green
blue
family?
family.
It's both.
It's both.
It's
Mix.
one
Okay.
of those color
Yeah.
blocks.
Okay. Okay.
Half blue, half green.
Okay. Well, you know how you ever seen the thing where they be like, men see this dress as blue, but women say it's gold.
Yeah.
And so I was just asking, I don't want,
They say even certain people see it that not just being women.
right,
Sometimes it can be the individual.
right.
'Cause I was looking at some and I was like, it had to be brown. They're like, no, it's fucking pink. No, fucking brown over here, goddamn.
Shit, what I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Between
I'm
So what's y'all's
colorblind.
favorite color?
Shit, I can see some colors.
So what's y'all's favorite color?
My favorite color is red.
Green?
We all know why.
to the gang.
Good thing he didn't hear that shit.
Now what's funny is one of my favorite colors is red. It really is. I like red a lot. I'm in a fraternity and our colors is blue and white.
Disrespect.
Just a little touch of gold. You know what I'm talking about?
Disrespect.
So, but yeah. Yeah.
And he says hers is orange. Delta
Orange.
says lavender.
War Eagle. War Eagle. You know how we do.
And he says black too. I'm bringing my clothes choice different, makes me stand out from the crowd. Color represents personality
Okay.
internally.
I got a question. Is lavender a color or a smell? Like a scent?
It's a color and smell. It's a form of purpose.
I feel like
Every-
every color has a smell in a way.
every-
Like if
okay,
I
so-
look at a color, I know what it smells like. But that's because I connect it
Wait,
to something
so-
that is that color.
What does red smell like?
Cherries.
He said tomato. You said cherries.
Tomato.
I would think apple. Okay, so what do blue smell like?
Blueberry?
Yeah, blueberries or blue raspberry. Depends on the shade of blue.
See, that's
Water.
too good. Okay,
Water.
so what do yellow
Water.
smell like? Yellow smell like lemons?
Sunflowers, lemons,
Sunflower.
maybe.
Sunflower don't have a smell though.
It does.
It does?
A little bit.
Sunflower seed?
No.
Does
Okay.
it taste?
So every time I see yellow, I think of sunflower seeds. Okay. So,
Orange is orange.
so orange,
We
orange.
coverage.
Yeah, orange is orange, lavender is lavender.
So what's
We're just
green?
naming them off of
What was green?
that color.
Green tastes like a pear.
Broccoli.
Broccoli? Oh no.
A tree.
A tree?
Broccoli, the tree.
No, I need like watermelon or something for green. Like something cooler than that, like green grapes or something. Like give me something. Like,
grapes.
you said a tree?
Or
Broccoli?
green
I like
apple.
broccoli. Kale, asparagus, okay, but give me something cool. Watermelon. Is that too stereotypical? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
You
think
know,
of red when I think of watermelon.
You think of red? Wait, but you
Yeah.
said red was cherry.
Well,
can do
it's
both.
like a pinkish red. I don't know. I don't have anything that's that color, but
Oh,
you know,
no.
like pink watermelon red, pink, whatever. It's pink and green.
Oh, change to her favorite color is
With
yellow.
some black.
All right, so what about brown? What brown smell like? Wow. Damn. You can say, hey, you guys say poop. You know what I'm saying?
Black people smell like
So black people smell like poop. Is that what
No,
you say?
that's
Wow.
totally different.
I'm just playing. I'm just joking on that one. Don't nobody be tripping. That was just a joke, y'all. We just playing.
I like looking at orange things, but I don't wear orange. Does that make sense?
I don't like looking at orange and brown together as a combination. I will leave your building if you got orange and brown in the combination. You know, that's design like that. Fast food restaurants design places to make you sit down. Like with the color pattern.
Blue eyeshadow, blue denim, white gray, top, black jeans, black jacket, black turban, and Alan Waller, Lincoln Park, my favorite.
Okay.
And Tammy said yellow, pink. Somebody said pink on here too. He said cat. Most people love blue. No, most people don't love blue. There's a lot of blue people, and most people don't love blue. That's not. No,
I
that's
feel
not my
that
color
dressing
palette.
thing though, because like I do not look good in blue, but it's my favorite color. I don't own anything that's blue. I never buy anything that's blue, but for some reason I'm like, that's my favorite color.
That she ain't never bought nothing blue. That's what I'm talking about. To the game.
Oh, I don't even like the color purple, but like my car is purple. Like
Oh,
everything in my life is purple. I don't like that color that
that's a lot of
much.
tickets there, huh? More.
Huh?
That's a lot of tickets there, huh?
A
Purple
lot of
car.
what?
You be speeding. You're in a purple
Oh
car. You
yeah.
see it. You get a lot of tickets.
I got one ticket in my entire life and I haven't paid it or gone to court. I'm in a bad situation right now.
Or it's gonna be a goddamn fugitive. All right.
Don't tell nobody.
Right, she'll be going live in prison. You're like, damn.
Hold on. Here
Keep your
comes
voice
the
down.
You'll be like, Morgan in the prison cell. It could be Morgan the boy. Damn. He
No.
gonna come in and tell her she shanked somebody. You be like, what?
What? The fight wasn't fair enough the first time?
Right. She gonna thank him, then she gonna talk to them like nicely and stuff and all. You know what I'm saying? She's like, hey, so you really got a problem with me? You got a problem with how I said that? You
Okay,
like,
Annie said brown for brownies.
brown for brownies.
I was also thinking dirt.
Wow.
Dirt.
Yep, Delta said
Getting deeper and deeper. Just
purple is dope. Lavender, my purple favorite colors. Yellow smell like okay. I wore
yellow smell
purple.
like sunshine.
I felt like formal yesterday, experimented Aquarius thing. I'm Brian. Some of those traits are not Aquarius. Those are just your traits.
Like what?
All Aquarius don't act like that.
Yellow
She
smell.
said in her country, men are dictating and controlling, and because she's an Aquarius, she don't like that. But
Is that why she don't like it?
that's in her culture.
But what about the women who
She's
not
different.
Aquarius? They
She doesn't-
Gemini's.
She's not She's not your traditional Muslim.
Right.
She's a modern day Muslim. So she gets into it with the traditional idea.
Okay. Right. I can understand. You know.
She wants to make money.
Yeah.
Holding out to marriage. And some of them aren't forthcoming and feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of them don't want their woman to work. They want their woman to do what they tell them to do.
Right.
But that's a culture thing. That's not an individual thing.
Right. That's right. Yeah. That's a cult. Right. Exactly. That's true. It's different. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate our special guest, Morgan the Boy. You know what I'm saying? She's a regular on the show. So she decided to go live with us. It was her topic tonight. So we appreciate her for that.
If you would like to be on the show too,
Mm-hmm.
DM your boy, Thoughts from Your Boy podcast,
Absolutely.
live and direct, and
Yep.
we'll put you on the show too.
Absolutely.
With that being said, I'm your host. Dysfunctional dude.
I'll let him have a moment. My bad. I'm your boy Sam, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
And I'm Morgan or Morgan the Void.
We out of time till the next time.
Screaming, let's talk.
Peace.